Alright, hello everyone. This is the start of how do you say, well, what my thoughts are for Microsoft's press conference for this year's E3. This is going to be the first video of a few for the press conferences I've been able to watch so far. Don't mind my pink wall, or my disheveled bed, or the door in that case. With my current living situations, I'm living in an my younger cousin's old bedroom, so I'm living in here like a boss. But anyway, on to the press conference. Overall, I felt Microsoft's press conference wasn't over the top or anything. There was some key things dropped. Things looked really cool. And I did watch the press conference stream through Xbox, and remarkably, it worked really well. I downloaded the app a couple days before, and when it came time to watch it, they it worked just fine. I had a couple of hiccups with disconnects, just two of them, and I think that might have just been due to on my end with my connection. I was having some issues with it earlier in the week too, so I don't think it had anything to do with the app. It worked remarkably well, sound sounded good, and it looked very nice. I believe it was in full HD. With that being said, let's get to the meat and bones of this. The first thing they showed off was Halo 4, which is to be expected. That's one of Microsoft's biggest IPs, and we're going to see what 343 is going to do with it. I haven't had a chance to complete the Halo Anniversary Edition, so I know there are. I don't know if there's spoilers or hints or anything like that, but Guilty Spark 343 has like little things in that game that I've unlocked so far, and I think that might have to do with the direction Halo 4 is going. But overall, with the video, it to be expected. It looks absolutely stunning. It looks like the best Halo game to date, at least graphically. And I think that has a lot to do with a new engine that 343 is using. And I'm kind of excited to see what it's capable of. We did get to see a new DMR and the assault rifle, as well as new, I guess they're Forerunner weapons, which looked pretty cool. Halo's always been known for using integrating alien weaponry into your arsenal and seeing what that might look like and how that affects gameplay. It was kind of cool to see different enemies being able to react differently to different attacks, like you throwing your plasma grenade. You saw it in the video if you've seen it, and it just kind of, flung it back at you, which is kind of cool. They also showed off video in the HUD in the beginning of the demo, which was really cool. It's really nice for that to be added instead of strictly just voiceover. And Cortana's redesign looks pretty sweet too. The one thing I was actually kind of really excited for to see, and it's something really small, but I'm a nerd like that, is the different visor modes. I think that's something that has been missing from the game earlier in Halo Reach, I believe, and even as early as the first Halo. You got night vision looking through sniper scope, and I think you're able to change your visor in Halo Reach. I'm not sure, but in the books it talks about using their different visor modes and the HUD and things like that, and so I think it'll play a bigger role in this game, which is kind of cool. And obviously, we're gonna find out more about the Forerunners, and I think the potential for this game is going to be huge. It's another Halo game. Every time I say I'm going to quit Halo, it sucks me right back in, and I'll probably end up picking up this game and just for the sake of finishing off the story. I mean, Halo was the first reason why I got the first Xbox, and I'm into all of this anyway, so we'll see how that all goes. They did give a release date for November 6th of 2012, and I will most likely be picking that up day one. Another thing that I'm really excited for, and I'll talk about more in depth during the Ubisoft video, is Splinter Cell Blacklist. For now, I'll just say it looks gruesome, it looks beautiful, it looks slick, and potentially more fast-paced depending how comfortable you are with the new engine. Well, not the new engine, but if you really liked Conviction's gameplay, I'm sure this game will be even better, and it definitely looked that way. Just, Sam Fisher's gonna be awesome. I'm a little sad I didn't hear Michael Ironside's voice. I don't know if it's temporary or if he just didn't want to do it anymore, but we'll see how that goes, and that's going to be released spring 2013. Then they started talking about the Kinect integration with FIFA 2013 and Madden 2013, both of which are covered more in the EA presser. I will say, however, voice integration sounds cool, especially getting in FIFA, getting pissed off at the refs. The refs will react to that, which is kind of cool. As a sports fan, every sports fan ever, if you've ever watched sports, will get pissed at a ref invariably, umpire, ref, whatever. It's always the ref's fault, right? So that's kind of cool. And in Madden, you can call plays at the line, which is something I've always wanted to do in terms of football. I'm a huge American football fan, and being able to call plays, change them at the line like a quarterback would, is something I've always wanted to do. And but I would like just to use my mic instead of using the Kinect. I just don't have the space in my room to use the Kinect. And while I don't need the video, I think it's just kind of annoying that I have to use the Kinect mic. But we'll see if that's something that's integrated or not. I doubt it, but we'll see. They also showed off Fable the Journey. They gave it a holiday 2012 date. They said it's bold gameplay, but I'm not so sure about that. I think it's just another Kinect tech demo for the most part. I think I said as much last year when they showed it off. I'm sure that it'll have its following for really big Fable fans, but that's not something I'm going to be picking up. And before the conference, it had leaked that Gears of War was going to be making an appearance, and we saw it in Gears of War Judgment. We saw a CG video featuring Baird of all characters, but I guess they kind of made him into a bigger character within the last two games. So I guess they're gonna not focus on Marcus Phoenix as much, especially after the end of the third game. But I did play the third game, and I thought the war was over with that whole ending. So, I mean, wasn't that the point of the third game? But we'll see how it turns out, because maybe it's a prequel of some sort or an intermittent thing. I don't know. But it could be interesting. Then Forza Horizon was shown off a little bit, new open world direction. I'm assuming that video was from in-game, just because the games overall look really pretty. It looks awesome and realistic as always, as all Forza games are. I've played, I have Forza 4 and I play Forza 3 as well. And while I'm not really into customizing, I do like racing very fast and pretty cars and cars I will never be able to own. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with being able to race across the country. I think they showed off Colorado and it looked pretty sweet, and they gave a release date of October 23rd, 2012 for that one. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm sure a lot of people will pick that up. Forza has a huge following, especially within the modding community, and I'm sure they're just going to keep building on what they already have. They also talked about new functionality with Xbox being, as I said, I don't have room for my Kinect, but improved and expanded functionality across the board can really only be a good thing. Let's see here. They talked about being able to search with genres starting this fall, as well as being able to search for direct titles across all of your different subscriptions, such as Netflix and things like that. And they're also adding new languages, so they're definitely expanding it to a wider audience across the country. They also announced that Nickelodeon, Paramount, Machinima, and Univision are all coming to Xbox Live. And that's a lot of programming, so you can definitely tell Microsoft's push to make the Xbox a central entertainment unit, which I think is pretty cool, and something I'll probably use more and more of in the future, since I don't watch much TV anymore, or I don't really have access to one, and I don't think I will in the future, at least since I'm up here in San Jose now. Um, what else? What else? Oh, they're bringing more sports to Xbox Live, which is sweet. I mean, it already has UFC and MLB TV if you have subscriptions for each. They're going to be including the NBA and NHL, since they both have their own channels, and I'm assuming it's subscription based as well. But if you already have those, you're a big sports nut for those, that is something very cool. But the biggest thing that I found was awesome, because I'm a huge ESPN fan and I like just keeping up with sports in general. ESPN's app is getting expanded functionality, meaning you're going to be able to do pretty much everything that the Watch ESPN app and website allow you to do. You can watch Sports Center, Sports Nation, Mike and Mike, NFL Live, Baseball Tonight, I'm assuming, NBA coverage, and especially Monday Night Football. That is something that is huge to me, and I'll definitely be getting on that as soon as it's available. Just because I like watching sports, and following it and being able to talk to people at work about stuff. It sucks right now because I can't watch the basketball playoffs. So people are telling me about all this awesome stuff that's happening, and I don't know anything about it, and I feel like a loser. They also announced Xbox Music. They didn't really touch on it other than it's got a huge library. I'm assuming it's replacing the Zune Marketplace, but I really don't know. And it's not something I'm really too interested in just because I don't stream a whole lot of music through my Xbox. Then they announced that Nike is becoming a partner and they're going to be releasing the Nike Plus with Kinect Training. So it's a focus on fitness and expanding the Xbox audience, trying to get more athletes into the Xbox space using the Kinect, which I think is a great idea, and maybe it'll get more gamers like me to start working out. You can track your progress, compete against other players, and it's slated for holiday 2012 release date, and we'll see how that all goes. Personally, I think it's a good idea. And then Xbox, I think the biggest blockbuster for Xbox during the press conference was the Xbox Smart Glass. And the idea behind that is to integrate all your devices, your smartphone, your tablet, and your computer probably, and also your TV. And I have an iPad, I have a smartphone, I have my TV. They don't talk to each other, and I think it's pretty cool that the Xbox Smart Glass will be able to do it. I'm assuming it's operating off of Wi-Fi and some kind of app, but I don't know much about it. The tech demo was pretty sweet though. Being able to watch a movie from your tablet, telling the Xbox to switch it, picking up right where it left off, and your tablet automatically switching to trivia, detailed description, just overall a more immersed, how do you say, immersive feeling for your entertainment. I'm sure that's probably the wrong word I'm looking for. I'll think of it later. But I think it's really cool because most of the times I have my phone on me when I'm watching something, either checking text messages or looking something up that just sprout into my mind like, oh, yeah, who's the director of this? That's something I should probably know. So I think that's really cool. And then they're also talking about bringing in game integration, and it seems like that's a huge theme that's going to be coming into the future. I noticed that in some other pressers as well. And they mentioned in Madden you can use your tablet to draw up plays and change plays and pick players and things like that, which I think is pretty cool. And I'm assuming you could probably do something similar with like a basketball game where drawing up plays is more on the fly in basketball than it is in football. And then they also mentioned Halo Waypoint to highlight story lore and other types of things in gameplay. So if you come across a checkpoint, Waypoint will ping you on your tablet or cell phone, and you can see, hey, that's a forerunner structure, um, or you know maybe a bio on a captain you meet or something. I don't know, but I think the potential there is pretty sweet. And I see some parallels to kind of like the Mass Effect 3 datapad where it tracks your gameplay. And what's cool about the Mass Effect 3 datapad is as you do certain missions, talk to certain characters, it all saves to your Xbox, and then eventually ME3 datapad, well, assuming you're connected to the internet, ME3 datapad will recognize your progress, and the characters send you email and messages based on what you did, how you helped out, how you fucked up, things like that, which is pretty sweet. And that immersion I think is really cool. Then they also talked about Internet Explorer for Xbox, which is long past due. And I won't really get into that because it's Internet Explorer for Xbox. We'll probably find out more soon. Crystal Dynamics also showed off Tomb Raider. Again, I was really excited about it last year. I'm still excited about it this year. It looks beautiful. They showed off more gameplay. It's definitely survival focused, not just Lara being a badass bitch, which I'm assuming will happen later, but it just looks really cool. And I do like that they're adding RPG-like features, so you gain experience for killing people, I guess figuring out puzzles, things like that. And it's very visceral gameplay. That's something I'm definitely excited about. Overall, though, I still think the pain and agony, moaning, and the I don't know, it's just overacted and a little too much, a little distracting. But I'm sure if the game is as good as it looks, I'll get over it. At the very least, I can turn down the audio or something. Signal Studios also demoed a game. They are the ones that made Toy Soldiers, and it's called Ascend New Gods. Briefly reminding me of Shadow of the Colossus, but with a lot of more minions and very violent. And let's see, Twisted Pixel showed off Locust Cycle, just a small video. There's another game called Matter coming to the Kinect, which is another small video. Capcom showed off Resident Evil 6, pretty much exactly what you're getting with the Resident Evil game, and there's a huge following for that, so I'm sure a lot of people are excited for that one. They also demoed Racketeer it's a Kinect-based game, almost like an Angry Birds, only you are the slingshot, I guess, and you control the bombs or whatever. Eh, I'm sure it'll be an interesting Xbox Live title. We'll see. Then, which was really funny, was South Park: The Stick of Truth. I'm looking forward to that one. Trey Parker and Matt Stone came out, and they're entertaining selves as always. They were out there for a little short time, but the trailer for it looks exactly like an episode of the show, which they mentioned is something they really wanted to do, and I'm glad it translated really well. So we'll see how it goes. That's something I'll be following with interest. And then towards the end, Harmonix debuted Dance Central 3. I don't think anyone's surprised by that one either. And I don't have Dance Central 2, I only have the first one, but they're fun games, and so I could see why they're going to be jumping on that too. Usher's performance was pretty cool, although I don't think Usher is the type of music that a lot of the people in the audience really appreciate. That's not to say they don't like music or anything like that, but I mean, it's 10 o'clock in the morning with a bunch of reporters who have a lot of shit to tweet about, write about, blog about, and he's telling them to get up and dance. I mean, it doesn't really translate to me, but it was still cool nonetheless. But seriously, the dude's looking a little scruffy. I don't know what's up with that, but whatever. It was cool to see the game integrated into his performance though, which was pretty sweet. But you can definitely tell what's his choreography, and you can definitely tell game choreography because you're standing in one place. Then they showed off Call of Duty Black Ops 2 game demo, and if you've ever played a Call of Duty game recently, you know exactly what you're getting. So those are my thoughts for the Microsoft press conference, and look forward to my video for Sony and then the EA and Ubisoft. Thanks.